Local 5 News at 10 in HD starts now. We are Iowa.
Welcome to Local 5 News. I'm Stephanie Engelson.
And I'm Jack Miller. Tonight, a story you'll see only here on Local 5 News. The confessions of a killer. Kyle Jepsen murdered Gloria Gary a little more than a year ago. Local 5 dug into investigative records for months. Tonight, for the first time, we hear why Jepsen chose a woman he didn't even know and how it could have happened to anyone who crossed his path. Local 5's Orko Manna joins us in the studio with the disturbing confession.
Well, Jack and Stephanie, Kyle Jepsen killed Gloria Gary, then stole her car to leave the state. He got as far as Utah, where he was caught, interrogated, and admits everything. These are the confessions of a killer. On a cold January night a little over a year ago, Kyle Jepsen was found stranded on the side of the road in Utah.
Iowa license plate, Iowa ID. Kind of found that kind of weird.
This dash cam video from Utah Highway Patrol Trooper Ronnie Corona shows Jepsen asking for help after running out of gas. But what happened next inside the squad car raised even more flags.
So whose car is it?
My aunt's.
What's her name? You don't know your aunt's name?
No, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank.
That's weird, man.
Yeah.
So whose car is it?
It's stolen.
It didn't sound right. It wasn't registered to him. He couldn't really tell me who the vehicle belonged to. All those little details weren't making sense to me.
Jepsen said the car he was driving belonged to a woman in Des Moines. 49-year-old Gloria Gary. Jepsen is then questioned by the State Bureau of Investigation. The audio recordings obtained exclusively by Local 5 show Jepsen telling investigators he took Gloria Gary's life inside her own home on January 3rd, 2017.
You put your hand on her, you strangle her, she falls to the ground. Then you confirm that you think that she's dead, and then from there you proceed to sexually assault her.
It was all like one movement.
A murder followed by a disturbing sexual assault. In the recording, Jepsen graphically details everything he did to Gloria Gary. Jepsen spent the next few hours around the house. He showered, he watched TV, and then he used his victim's own cell phone to take photos, sending them out to his friends using the social media app Snapchat.
Actually, I sent a lot of that night to almost everybody I knew. I forgot that I did that.
For him, committing the crime didn't seem real.
My mind almost bluffed.
An out-of-body experience?
I wasn't out of body, I was watching the whole thing, but I was obviously there, right? Because I felt the whole thing and everything, so I don't know.
What Jepsen also didn't know was why he picked Gloria Gary's house.
So you're just walking down the street, first time ever?
Yep.
Walking down the street, all of a sudden this house, for whatever reason, catches your attention, and in you go.
Yeah. It's just, I wanted to go into that house, and I wasn't going to leave.
But why this particular house?
I'm not sure.
Des Moines police worked for weeks to get Jepsen back to Iowa. Jepsen's defense team even tried to get the case dismissed because it took such a long time. It wasn't until September 2017 when Jepsen finally pleaded guilty to killing Gloria Gary face-to-face with her family. He'll spend up to 50 years behind bars for her murder, with a mandatory minimum sentence of 35 years.
This is a tragedy, an unbelievable tragedy.
Gloria's loved ones say what they went through was unimaginable, but they believe justice was served.
The monster that is Kyle Jepsen is behind bars and will be behind bars for sure for 35 years. And if in 35 years I have anything to say about it, we'll go the full 60. I will be there at every parole hearing until they're wheeling me in on a gurney. Because that man should stay behind bars for as long as possible.
Now, Jepsen is also on the Iowa Sex Offender Registry, which Gloria Gary's family tells me is basically a life sentence. Now, I asked the Gary family for an interview about the documents we obtained, but they told me they have no official comment. They did say, quote, "What happened was a very painful ordeal. Gloria's murder was an unspeakable, unthinkable tragedy." And Jack and Stephanie, Kyle Jepsen is currently serving his sentence at the Iowa State Penitentiary in Fort Madison.
Wow, some of the sound from him is just, I mean, it's haunting and creepy. DP all at the same time. And you went through a lot of listening to him talk, right?
Yeah, it was actually around 3 hours of that interview. So he detailed his past, talked about killing Gloria Gary, fleeing to Utah. So definitely a very long, interesting conversation.
And we just saw a small bit of those recordings. Can we see the rest of them?
Yeah, there's actually more snippets of that interview with investigators on the web story for this story on our website, weareiowa.com.
Okay, Orko, thank you so much for that story.